Welcome back to some more trophy hunting content. In today's video, we are taking on the Order 1886, which I've never played before, but I've always wanted to. And I said, why not give it a shot? And as you can see, we're in this blissful ocean. It's so calm and relaxing. Nice. Oh wait, are we suffocating? Well, what is going on? Suffocating? Drowning? You know what I mean. Wait, what's going on? Oh, thank God. Feels good. At least for Brit. Whoa! Ugly Yanka. Okay, I just wanted to say that because he's British. Anyway, let's get on with the video. They start you off at the prequel as a prisoner. Have no idea what's going on. Which I was like, this already had me like invested in the story. Or in the game, rather, I should say. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what is going on? Like, why am I being held captive? What did I do to the British Army or British Parliament, whatever they want to call themselves? Like, what's happening here? So, like, in the first, minute or two, I'm already like, I need to know what's happening in this game. Also, I didn't know that Santa Monica Studios did this, but, like, as soon as you actually do get, like, control of the character for the first time, I was like, oh, so this is kind of like where they must have got the idea to do, like, the camera work for, like, God of War. Because, and let me tell you, this game is beautiful for a PS4. I'm not sure if it was a launch title. Before we get too far into the video, let me just give the rundown of what PSN gives this game. You only have to do one playthrough, difficulty's a 3 out of 10, and it says it's going to take you 10 hours, and there's a total of 22 trophies. Honestly, the difficulty surprised me that it's a 3 out of 10, maybe because like some of the combat can be kind of hard, I guess, in a way, but it's not too bad, I would say. In the 10 hours, maybe if you weren't using a guide, I just used the guide for the collectibles because I didn't want to like go back through. But this game does have a chapter select where you can just pick it. It even has like sub chapters and everything, which we'll go over further in the video because I ended up using them to get a little bit of cleanup in the trophy department. But the chapter select is chef's kiss. It's great. You can pick pretty much anywhere point in the chapter where to start. Definitely makes the cleanup, or if you miss one of the collectibles, it makes it 10 times easier to get. And it says 10 hours. Like I said, that's being generous. I think I did this game in 6 hours. And like some of the combat, I guess, is challenging, or it could be like, maybe not challenging is the right word, but you do die like pretty easily. But you do get like this little health system where if you do go down, you can drink out of your vial, and it'll give you like a second life, pretty much, which is pretty cool. But we're done playing Torture Simulator. It's time for us to break out of here. We play one more game of Dunk for the Apples, and this time when we get up, we get a button prompt to push triangle, and gosh darn it, we're gonna do it. Pushing triangle, and this part I thought was so cool. Just ka-cha! And then, ka-cha! So cool. Anyway, we bust out of here, and let's not show this part. You already know what's about to happen. So now with our newfound freedom, we need to get the hell out of here. And this is what I was talking about, like with the over-the-shoulder cam, kind of like how they do it in God of War. It just looks all like cinematic. Like, I can't believe this game was on the PS4. I mean, God of War 2018 was on PS4 too, and it looked amazing. But like, I'm pretty sure this was a launch, maybe not a launch title, but early in the PS4's life cycle. And we'll just look how good this looks. And how come there isn't a sequel to this? What is going on? However, we stumble into a room, and we see a weapon. Thank God. Let's get some combat going on this bad boy, even though we've definitely seen better days. However, it is empty after we inspect the object. This is how you're gonna like get collectibles and stuff too. You inspect them, and you can do like cool stuff like that. Like, this game from the beginning, I know I already said this, but it had me invested. I'm like, what is this guy's story? What is happening? I need to know more. We find a hidden tunnel and get through it to know that there's some type of breach going on in this facility. There's enemies going on, and I'm like, well, what's up with this? Of course, we're hiding. Then we shimmy onto another wall, and I'm like, what is that? Is that a goddamn werewolf? And then this is when the game had its teeth in me. I'm like, I need to know what is going on in this game, because there's so much happening. We go ahead and stumble into another room, and we hear an elevator. Now it's time to Trigun this bitch. I don't know if you guys ever seen the hit anime Trigun, the original, not that new stuff. I didn't really care for it. But we're going to pretend our gun's loaded, and we're going to use this to get ourselves out of a situation. Of course, he's gonna let them know that we... And they don't give a crap about their homie. They just start firing upon entry. This is where this guy knew he messed up. Back to the story. Once we escape the guards, we bust our way out, only to be surrounded by people on both sides of the door. And you're thinking, what did this guy do to have so much trouble? Like, what's going on here? But we do what any sane person would do in a situation like this, and we just decided to eat ourselves off, man. Now to give a little bit of backstory of the Order 1886, it takes place in the steampunk-infused Victorian era, where the secret Order of Knights, known as the Order, we battle against supernatural forces to protect humanity. The game beautifully captures the dark, gritty atmosphere of the 19th century London, stunning visuals and attention to detail. We step into the shoes of Sir Gallard, the skilled and experienced knight of the Order. The gameplay combines third-person shooting, exploration, puzzle-solving elements to create an immersive experience. Players will utilize an array of advanced weapons, including the Ionic Arc Gun, as they face off against hordes of enemies and powerful creatures. Now, just like in Until Dawn, this game has a crap ton of collectibles. There's a total of 77 collectibles in the Order 1886, which account for 5 total trophies in the game. They go as follows: the Power of Observation, which is collecting all the objects; Well Read, which is collecting all the newspapers, which you see here; Archivist, for collecting all the phonograph cylinders, which are kind of like little things that you'll find throughout the world that will give you like a little bit of backstory and they like read them to you. Unfortunately, in this game, you actually have to sit there in the main menu screen and listen to them. You can't just walk around, which kind of sucks. Detail oriented, collected all the photographs and documents, and then Inspector First Class, collecting everything. Unfortunately, you're not going to get all of these until like the last chapter of the game, but let's go ahead and just pop these trophies now, just to get that dopamine. It's cheese day, ain't it? Sorry, I had to do another English voice. Anyway, we meet up with Lizzie. Also, by the way, guys, if you made it this far in the video, if you could leave me a like, comment, subscribe, just to help the channel grow, I would appreciate that. Trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. We're at 209, I think, right now, which is pretty cool. Anyway, we meet up with Lizzie. There's a commotion going on, so the Knights of the Order are called into action. Looks like some criminals escaped. The psychiatric ward and are causing havoc. This is when you get your first action to the gameplay, which is actually pretty good. Like, the gun control feels good for such an old game. The headshots feel satisfying too. Which also, I'd say, I think by chapter 8 or whatnot. But after you get like 100 headshots, you earn yourself another trophy. A lot of the combat's kind of like hiding cover. Kind of reminds me a lot of Mass Effect. Like, you're going to go behind between different covers, roll up, just start shooting, taking cover, ways that enemies take out. But it's actually a lot of fun. Also, while you're playing the game, make sure that you're taking the enemy's weapons, because there is another trophy for getting a kill with every single weapon in the game. Just something to keep note of. But we'll pop that trophy later, since we already popped like 6. A lot of these trophies are going to be like late game. Like I said, I don't think I got my first trophy till like chapter 7 or 8, maybe chapter 6. And it was the headshots. The 100 headshots was my first trophy. One of the cool different like combat features that you have is that you have black sight, which kind of like freezes time and you can shoot it. And it's kind of like, because you'll be like surrounded by enemies, and doing this is pretty cool. Even though I didn't really do it that much because I was going for headshots, and then towards the end game, I was like literally sitting there. There's a room that I'll go over towards the end where I talk about like where I grinded some of these trophies. But if you use the black sight and you kill 25 enemies and you get 5 headshots with it, it's 2 more trophies. But like I said, I didn't get this to like end game, but you can grind it like on this area. Like, we just like restarted the checkpoint. We could essentially just keep doing this over and over again. After clearing another room, we go meet up with another one of our fellow colleagues. Which also, if these guys are hearing us get shot at, why didn't they come help us sooner? You know what I mean? But whatever. Once we're all gathered together, we split up to look for the missing inmates. I also just want to take a moment to be like, this game definitely took some Assassin's Creed inspiration, because look at this. Like the same animation and everything. It's pretty cool. Now, after getting to our next area, we end up finding one of them. And this is where it gets crazy. Let's let this play out. So there was werewolves. I knew it, man. And this is when I was like, this game got pretty cool. One annoying thing though about the werewolves is that they will attack you, and even if you like do the dodge roll, they can still hit you. So you have to be like really cautious of like where you're rolling, because they will mess you up. I think like 3 hits pretty much kills you, and you'll be in sections like this where there's like 3 of them or 4 of them just running around and trying to get you. So it's kind of like, ugh. I know I died a few times here. Thankfully there's no like, yeah, look at that, 1 hit and I'm already like into caution. Like, okay, but if you do take 10 of these rounds, oh, also to finish them off you have to run up and then do a triangle to finish them for good. After killing 10 Lycans, you knit yourself another trophy. We managed to take them all down, and there's the last one, but he ends up getting away. And now we're on the chase. Can you imagine though, you're just going through town, you just see this freaking werewolf going around, which is freaking crazy. Also, this weapon, I hated it at first because I didn't understand it, but actually using it, oh my god, one of my favorite weapons. I love this. We'll show in a different part too, because you need to get like 10 kills with like a science weapon, and this is one of the science weapons in the game. Also keep in mind that these are like really limited on when you can get, so when you're going for like get a kill with each trophy, just keep in mind that this is like all the science weapons, all regular weapons. Just want to make sure that you know this, because thankfully for me through the whole playthrough I was just switching weapons, so I didn't have to worry about it at the end game. Once you get to like, I think it's chapter 14, you get a crossbow, and at that point when you get a kill with a crossbow, it should be like the last weapon you need to get a kill with. Another one of our crew, the senior member of our party, comes in and takes care of all the political police work, you know. We don't need to deal with that, he's got it. Then chapter 2 starts, and there's like a whole order, and this is where you kind of get like, okay, you know, we're part of the Queen's Knights, and blah blah, he's the head guy, and he has to do all this. And this is all a bunch of political stuff that, this chapter you pretty much just go in, and this is the whole chapter, but we're gonna go skip ahead. It is pretty cool that they added Tesla to this game, just like, as like a historic figure. He does like different inventions for you and gets you like new guns and stuff like that and different equipment. It's just kind of a cool place to see like where you get the weapons from. Now in chapter 3 we're with the squad trying to see what the heck's going on with this rebellion, trying to get some answers. Cannot be spotted, we need to be cool. We end up splitting up. The old guy goes with Izzy. We take the new kid. Let's get this mission rolling. No better way to start a mission than throwing an apple at some Yanka. More British slang, guys. I'm getting good at this. Anyway, we take out the first member of the rebellion, and we keep on going. Unfortunately, we get spotted, and we need to make a run for it before we're caught. Another thing that I was talking about how they add like historical characters. This lady thought she was getting attacked by Jack the Ripper. So, you know, just a little thing that's a little interesting, I thought. Like, they're even like putting that stuff in this game. To get into certain parts of the game, you're gonna have to do the lockpicking thing. Not my favorite lockpicking. And you guys know how I feel about lockpicking if you've seen like some of my other videos. There's just too much of it going on, man. Like this one's, it took me a while to understand it, but then after I get further in the game, I was like, oh, okay, you just want to do this, and once it gets to the furthest point, is when you push R2. But it took me a second to get it. I don't know why. I'm kind of slow. And the best way to avoid the rebels is to go into a brothel, and this happens. Like, what the heck, man. Now, after a few more firefights, we end up finding another cool collectible that I just want to show because it's a cool little Easter. We end up meeting back up with our friends at some secret rebel hideout that we end up finding out. But it seems like someone's supplying the rebels with weapons that the Knights of the Order use. So there's a traitor in our midst, it seems like, or something else is going on here. Now more rebel scum is coming to us. But before we get too into that, this is one of the few chances that you get to use this particular weapon. This is one of the only weapons, I think the only weapon you can use to incinerate enemies. You're going to have to incinerate 10 for the trophy. You're just going to do that, boom. You can either restart this checkpoint or you can go to the chapter select, which I will show you now. But yeah, so you can either just restart the checkpoint or just do what I'm doing right here. Go to the chapter selection, go to Rebel Contraband, and bam, trophy unlocked. After a close call with the rebels, one of us takes a shot. But this is what I was talking about earlier. Whenever you get injured, you have like this little plastic stick around your neck, and you drink it, and it like recovers your wounds. It's like kind of cool. They don't really like go too much into detail. Maybe they do in like some of the notes. I just didn't read them. But like once you drink it, it heals the wound, which is super cool. And they have like a whole like thing about it. Yeah, look at that. It's just wild. However, after defeating more rebels, we have a bigger problem on our hands. It seems the hospital is overrun with the half-breed Lycans. Seems like this might be their operations. So, we have to go in there and figure out what's going on. Get more details of the situation and assess it. Chapter 4 was definitely my favorite chapter. Just the atmosphere and everything, and just being surrounded by like all these bodies on the floor, walking around with a lantern, and just being like in this underground passage that you're headed to the hospital. It really was... I was like, kind of like, oh my god, is this game gonna turn into a horror game? Like I said, atmosphere, amazing. When we get to the hospital, you just see these mangled bodies everywhere, and you really know something's going down here. Then we end up running into one of the big baddies, and this part was just kind of cool too, just like how they like made like the hallway with them and you gotta try to stop them. This game, honestly, I really think it deserves a sequel, man, because this was a lot of fun. Like, overall, the story was great. I mean, it's a shorter game, but I definitely recommend if you haven't played this game, play this game. Then they also have, like, this cool, like, I guess this would, I don't know if you consider this a boss fight, but you do light attacks, heavy attacks, you can dodge when you get prompted. It's pretty cool, man. Like, this game does, like, a lot, which is surprising, like, for an old game like this, and plus, like, it holds up, man. No lie. But we end up getting knocked out, but Lizzie's out there still fighting for her life. And like this whole time too, like I don't even know the characters that long. This is like I said, the 4th chapter, but like seeing her fight and then seeing this happen to her, I legitimately, like, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they killed her off so quick. Like, what? This game is insane. And you just walk up like a freaking Chad and grab this axe, and you just take this mother trucker out, man. It's just like, whatcha! But we get Lizzie to safety, and we give her some of the elixir. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. I'm not really sure what it's called. And it ends up healing her. With the information that we gathered from the hospital, we know the rebels are on the ship. So we need to make sure that we can protect our own and all of our members of government from the rebel attack. So we just rappel down, which I just thought this looked so good, so I just wanted to add this little part in there. While in, we need to make sure nobody knows that we're on the ship. So what do? We shut off the power. And this is this cool little hoodie thing. I'm not sure what it's called. At first, I didn't know how to use it when I first got it. You just want to hold L3 there, keep it held, and then when you get it, R3. And this shuts off the power to let us move more easily throughout this without being seen. This is one of the chapters too where you can farm the stealth takedowns. After you get like, I think it's 7 or 10 stealth takedowns, we earn ourselves another trophy. Now that we know the rebels' plans, they're after Lord Hastings. So, this part I thought was pretty cool in the game. You get up on the high ground, use like the sniper, and you check out like the identities of the guards, because some of them have been replaced by rebel soldiers. So after taking down a few rebels, we end up saving the Lord Chancellor Hastings from certain death. And also while we're in this gun-firing headout, which also is a good place to farm for headshots too, you take out your pistol, and I think it's like 50 or 75 kills for the revolver here will also net us another trophy. As we're hot on the rebels' trail, of course, they throw a smoke grenade. We end up losing them. They're too quick for us. But then we're called back because there's more important matters at hand. Apparently the rebels still have bombs on the ships, but our superior officer is angry with us because of our disregard for a more stealthy approach to what's happening. Which I think, though, if we're trying to protect, the Lord Hastings or whatever, you think that he would understand it. But hey, that is the life of the knight. Also think that's really cool that they just like shoot them off on like a hot air balloon. I just wanted to show this part. Anyway, we're told that we're not sure if he's going to be able to protect us from the Lord Chancellor, but we're just doing our duty, and what we're doing is doing it the best way. I think I just had a stroke there. Now that we have the rebel cornered, it's time to get some answers. But it seems like our partner knows more what's going on than we do. Something's going on with the struggle, but an explosion cuts our conversation too short before we can get answers. We wake up rattling in pain. Smoke-filled area, flames everywhere. But where the hell's our partner? Unfortunately, he didn't make it. Just because the stuff can heal you up does not mean it prevents death from coming to you. As one night goes down, another gains the chalice, which is the thing that, maybe not chalice is the right word, but it's the thing that they wear around their neck to heal them up. So they take his and they give it to Lafayette, another member of our little ragtag group. The Lord Chancellor is defaming our friend, but we know what we did's right, and we know that we're undercovering a bigger conspiracy that's going on, because we need to protect the nation from all of these supernatural activities. However, before we can get further into do, we're under attack by the rebels. And with our friend just dying and fresh on our brain, we're still blaming the rebels for everything that's happening. So we take pleasure in getting them some payback. Now, this is one of the chapters too where you can farm the kills with the science weapons. This is one of the science weapons that you start off with. It is amazing. It's like a one-shot kill with electricity, and it does some serious damage. Like, they'll be missing like body parts, or like half their body just like comes off. It's crazy. But after 10 kills with a science weapon, we get another trophy. This chapter honestly is really good for like farming different kills, or this chapter and another chapter. One of the ending chapters that I'll go over when we get there is where I farm most of my killing ones. But here, you can see those like little red barrels there. You have to hit 10 of those 10 times, and that's a trophy. And then in this chapter too, you get this big freaking grenade launcher type thing. And this is where I got this trophy because I figured it would be the easiest. But one shot right there, boom. Take out 3 of them at the same time, we earn another trophy here. And this was like such a cool part of the story where you're just like so gun-ho on getting revenge that you don't give a what's going on. And right there's all 3 of them. We channel our inner Batman and we start asking the most important questions. After we beat him to a bloody pulp and we finally get our answer, we head over to Whitechapel. We go in there demanding answers after exchanging pleasantries with the rebel forces, and finally the leader comes down and we see her. Pretty hot. I mean, let's keep this professional, guys. Anyway, she has one of the lockets that doesn't make any sense. She says that there's a reason why they're going against Lord Hastings, and she has proof to why her actions are noble. So we decide to follow her along to see if she can prove it. However, we don't want to be implicated or implicate the Knights in any dishonorable ways that we're going about this at the India Trading Company. So we decide to lose our fit and head there just in case we run into trouble. But of course, just you know how women are, they always be creeping and sneaking up on you. One of the knights that have a little crush on us sees us leaving with the Indian woman, and of course she knows we're up to no good. And of course, you know that we have a couple battles that we have to get through in order to get, to point A to point B to keep the game interesting. But I actually do like all these combat. The combat in the game actually is quite fun. Anyway, I wanted to show this part because we're about to do a takedown, not a stealth one. We're just going to run up there and just beat it out of this guy. After you do this, I think like 7 or 10 times, you also earn another trophy. Also, I know I probably said this earlier, but just the gunplay in this game is amazing, dude. Like, it's just so much fun. We're protecting the rebel leader from people right now. That's why we're sniping, but I just wanted to kind of like show it off because, like, dude, like, it's just, the game's so smooth. It's so much fun. Like, I wish I would have played this game sooner, and I wish there was a sequel to it. Well, this is embarrassing. I didn't record the right clip, but this is one of my failed attempts. But if you use the black light while you throw one of the grenades, either yours or an enemy's grenade, and you shoot it out of the air, you earn yourself another trophy. That's embarrassing. But anyway, yeah. Now that we finally made it to the dog, she can finally show us the proof that she has. We open up the crate to find out that there's really a vampire. What in the world? This game got so crazy. One of the higher-ups knows that there's a vampire on the ship, so there's a traitor amongst our ranks. Which also makes you start wondering, why do they want to take out the rebels so bad when the rebels are trying to do good? So when our partner in crime's sitting there burning crates, we have to defend her through this part. But now we know that she was right. Something is going on, and we need to put a stop to it. Also, to come find out, the Lycans have teamed up with the vampires. They're ready to wage a war that the world is not ready for. We raise concerns to the High Chancellor to let him know what's going on, but he doesn't want to hear about it. He doesn't believe us at all. So we go to the next in higher command and tell him that he needs to come with us. It's also his dad. So we tell him that if he comes with us and we prove it, then maybe we can lead this way and we can save the world. So we head to the Indian Trading Company to find out where exactly this evidence is, to bring some light into our case, to hopefully bring it to the High Chancellor to cause some type of movement. This is Chapter 11, and by this point, the last kill you should need with a weapon is the crossbow. Once you take them out with a crossbow, the trophy should pop for getting the kill with every single type of weapon in the game. We also brought backup with the rebel leader and some of her friends. We kept this a small ops mission, but knowing with her by our side, I feel a lot better. However, they don't get along at first. He knows that the rebellion, we're supposed to be putting down the rebellion, but we know her side of the story. She's the one who let us know about this whole conspiracy going on with the vampires and Lycans. We end up putting our differences aside and working together. We finally find what we're looking for, some evidence that lets us know about the Indian Trading Company and all of the deals that they've made. It shows how they've been going to the Americas and where they started in India. Now that we have the proof, we can go back to the Lord Chancellor with this. However, it's too quiet and we notice the door opening and one of our companions are missing. There's a vampire here the whole time. I might have to block out the nudity. I forgot about that. And who is the vampire? None other than Lord Hastings himself. So he is the one who's been the traitor this whole freaking time. And he's so close to the Knights. It is insane. Like this part, like this game, dude, it just gets me. It's so good. And with a quick time action event, we save our friend. However, we're betrayed once again. Our buddy that we thought was on our side actually isn't on our side. He's part of the traitors. Come to find out, he's a Lycan. Which, things just got so much more complicated. The Lord Chancellor's son? A werewolf? What? With more knights showing up and the cops showed up, we're put under arrest. No one will believe our story. We end up having a trial, but of course, everyone finds us guilty of the heinous acts that we're accused of. And now we're back to where we started the game. It all came full circle. Our good old friend Tesla fished us out of the river, and it looks like Lafayette's with him. I'm not entirely sure if that's him or not. It looks like him, but can't really get a good glimpse. We keep fading in and out of consciousness for, I think they said about 2 weeks we were sleeping. After we gained consciousness, she lets us know that Nicola was the one who helped us and saved us, and was taking care of us when we were by. But then we wonder where he is, and he's still going to work. Which, we come to the conclusion that they must know that he was helping them. So, we put on our big boy pants, we go storm the castle, because that's our boy. We need to save him. Now, in one of the final areas of the room, you're going to find all these different weapons. This is definitely where you can just like restart the checkpoint, and if you're missing like the science weapons, or if you're missing get different kills and stuff at this point, like with the blacklight, this is where I farmed all that. That's where I got the headshots for this. This is also where I'm going to tell you where I got some of the other trophies that I got, because here I did, god, there's so many here, because you have these enemies here. There's always spawning at least like I think like 10. It's like a good little battle area. One of the trophies I got here is I just ran around, just kept firing from the hip, not aiming. Even if you die, it still counts going towards it. So I just ran in there, just kept shooting until I fell. But that's how you get that's how you get this trophy. Another one of the trophies I forgot to mention earlier. I forgot that they have like this stun attack with the M2 Falcon. If you push R1, you can shoot like a stun blast that'll push back enemies, and you can literally just farm off the same people. So like you can keep hitting the same person with it. You just do this like 20 times, I believe, and you get another trophy. I totally forgot this was a feature. So like at the end game when I was looking at the trophies, I'm like, what am I missing? And then I was like, oh, I totally forgot you could do this. After fighting our whole way through this castle, we finally make it to Tesla, and we finally get to go save him. Turns out, they knew that he helped us, and they put up a fight. Now, we have one last showdown. The man we used to prefer to our brother in arms. It sucks that it has to come to this, but let me give a few thoughts about this game. Honestly, this is a great game. I really wish there was a sequel because, honestly, I've always wanted to play it, but I've never checked it out. Never really even heard much about this game, but this game's amazing, guys. Also, I'm probably going to just pop the trophy here because this is pretty much the end of the game. So once you beat the game, you get the trophy at Night No More, and we're going to pop the platinum. Then he finally ends up showing his true form. What a freaking monster. Look at this guy. It's crazy how one of the higher ranks of our order was really a Lycan this whole time. And then you end up doing like this cool boss fight again where you can do like the quick attack, strong attacks, and you're dodging and all that stuff. It's a bunch of different quick time events and, you know, all the dodging left and right and stuff. But honestly, it's a good game, guys. Like, the story is actually really compelling. It is a shorter game. I think I finished this game in like 6 or 8 hours. I did look at the guide for the collectibles, I think, like I said earlier. But it's crazy to think of like how much conspiracy was really going on here. Like, this guy was a high ranking, and then his dad, who's not even really his dad because this guy was adopted, knew the whole time that he was a Lycan, but he still wanted him to be part of his family and just look past him doing all this shit. I guess too, he must have known about Lord Hastings, I'm assuming, being a vampire? I don't know, there's like a lot going on in this game. But he knows, and then he asks us to keep it a secret. And it's just because it would ruin the whole foundation of the knighthood. But it's like, man, if you really cared about the knighthood that much, then like, why are we even like, you know, risking it? And then he talks about, you know, of course, how like humans aren't any better than what they are, and where humans are just as evil, and it's just really insane. So the Lord Chancellor gives us one more mission. We must take the life of his son and not tell the Order about this because it would shake up the whole Foundation. So, with that being said, we make our condolences with our brother. We apologize, but we do what we must do to protect the world. Which is crazy to think of how long this guy's like actually lived. But anyway, this game, dude, honestly, I know I've said it again, but I'm going to say it again one last time before I sign off and end this video. You guys really should play this game. It is a great game. I don't think they'll ever do a sequel, but it's still a good game and a nice platinum. It's cool to try out all the different weapons, and it's just good. But, oh, the R2 at the end, though, that did hurt. But that is the Order 1886, guys. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe would be amazing. But yeah, let me guys know how you feel about the game. If you have any suggestions for me, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys. You guys all have a great day. Be safe. Love you. Bye.